Born on September 22, 1958, in the small village of Lahatico near Pisa, Andrea Bocelli's life began in the rolling hills of Tuscany. Raised in a humble farmhouse, Andrea grew up surrounded by the soothing sounds of nature. The wind brushing through the vineyards, the hum of agricultural machinery, and his mother's voice singing in the house. Although his family lived modestly, love and warmth filled their home. But fate tested Andrea early on. During pregnancy, his mother, Eddie, suffered a severe case of appendicitis. Doctors advised terminating the pregnancy to save her life, but she chose to keep the child. This decision, Andrea later said, saved not just his life, but his soul. Despite his fragility, Andrea developed an unshakable faith in life's sanctity, and his music journey began in the heart of adversity. Growing up blind, learning to see through sound. Andrea Bocelli's childhood was shaped by the struggle of being born with congenital glaucoma. His vision was blurry from birth, and by age 12, he lost his sight completely after a football injury caused a brain hemorrhage. Though he couldn't see the world around him, Andrea learned to perceive it in ways others could not. Music became his window to the world. At 6, his parents enrolled him in piano lessons, and he quickly began playing by ear, memorizing melodies and reproducing them on the piano without ever seeing a single note. For Andrea, sound was more than just a sense. It was his way of seeing the world. He once said, "I hear and I see through sound," turning music into his guiding force through life's darkness. The gift of music, a source of strength and expression. From a young age, Andrea's family encouraged him to embrace music as a means to understand the world. His parents never raised him in pity, but instead focused on building his resilience. At the age of 12, after losing his sight completely, Andrea began reading music in Braille and continued to pursue his passion for the piano. Music became his escape from the isolation he often felt. He would listen to folk songs and the sounds of nature, allowing these melodies to paint pictures in his mind. One pivotal moment occurred when Andrea received a gift from his old nanny, an album of the legendary Italian tenor Franco Corelli. Listening to Corelli's powerful voice, Andrea was struck with awe, and from that moment, he knew that singing would become his path. It was then that he realized his true calling was not just to play music, but to bring it to life through his voice. The struggles of school, finding hope in music. Andrea's school years were challenging. He attended a boarding school for the blind, where life was lonely and difficult. His days were filled with academic routines and the company of 63 other students, all sharing a single large dormitory. Music became Andrea's solace during these difficult times. Late at night, when everyone else had fallen asleep, he would listen to the wind and think of home. Music was the constant companion that kept the darkness at bay. Despite the harsh conditions, Andrea excelled academically, developing a memory of steel, which would later help him on stage. Though the path was tough, Andrea learned patience and discipline, traits that would sustain him throughout his career and life. Choosing music over law, a leap of faith. As he grew older, Andrea's parents encouraged him to pursue a practical career, and he enrolled in law school at the University of Pisa. It seemed like a sensible choice. Law offered stability, something Andrea could rely on as he adapted to life without sight. However, despite excelling in his studies, Andrea's heart still longed for music. He would use a tape recorder to capture lectures and memorize them by heart, but the melodies of life always beckoned to him. By day, he studied law, but by night, he played the piano in local bars to make ends meet. These nights were more than just a way to earn a living. They were his rehearsal space, where he honed his voice and learned to sing with emotion that could touch anyone, even those who were not paying attention. The global phenomenon, Time to Say Goodbye. And beyond, Andrea Bocelli's career reached new heights in 1996 when he released Time to Say Goodbye with Sarah Brightman. The song became a worldwide hit, topping charts in over 20 countries and selling more than 12 million copies. The success of this song solidified Andrea as a global superstar. His voice, a mix of power and fragility, resonated with audiences everywhere. As he performed on grand stages, from the Colosseum in Rome to Notre Dame in Paris, Andrea proved that music could transcend barriers. But despite his soaring success, Andrea faced criticism from traditional opera critics who accused him of diluting classical music. Rather than respond with anger, Andrea calmly stated, "Art is not about rules, it's about emotion." This simple truth became the cornerstone of his career. He didn't sing for the elite. He sang for everyone. Breaking boundaries. The cross-genre tenor. Andrea Bocelli's legacy is defined by his ability to break down the barriers between classical and contemporary music. While some critics dismissed him for being too commercial, Andrea never wavered in his commitment to making opera accessible to everyone. His fusion of pop and classical music created a new genre, which later inspired other artists like Il Divo and Josh Groban. Performing in stadiums, cathedrals, and opera houses, Andrea redefined what it meant to be a tenor. He brought opera to the masses, and his performances became a blend of elegance and accessibility. Even in the midst of fame, Andrea remained humble, often performing without a guide and memorizing the stage through the sound of echoes and the feel of the wind. The man who sang through the rain. The power of perseverance. Andrea's perseverance in the face of adversity became legendary. During his Voices of Hope tour in Florence, a fierce storm struck the venue, but Andrea continued to sing through the rain and wind, his voice unwavering. The audience was moved to tears by his dedication and passion. Andrea once said, "I don't need to see my audience to feel them. I can hear their hearts through their applause." His ability to perform under such extreme conditions reflected his deep belief in the power of music to connect with people, even in the most challenging circumstances. Whether on stage or off, Andrea's life was a testament to the power of faith, discipline, and unwavering dedication to his craft. A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, recognition, and legacy. In 2006, Andrea Bocelli received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a significant recognition of his global impact on music. His career had taken him from humble beginnings to the very heights of fame. But Andrea remained grounded. He never forgot the blind child who once played piano in smoky bars to survive. His humility, despite his success, endeared him to millions. As his music reached new heights, Andrea continued to give back. In his hometown of Lajatico, he founded the Teatro del Silencio, Theater of Silence, a symbol of his journey from silence to song. Every year, the theater opens for a single performance, echoing Andrea's belief that sometimes silence is just as important as music. It's a reminder that in the quietest moments, we can hear the most profound messages. From darkness to light. Andrea Bocelli's journey. Andrea Bocelli's journey has been one of overcoming incredible odds and redefining what is possible. From the darkness of blindness, Andrea has become the voice that brings light to millions. His career, spanning decades, has transcended genres, connecting people from all walks of life through the universal language of music. With each note he sings, Andrea proves that even in the darkest moments, we can find light. His story is a testament to the power of resilience, faith, and the ability to transform adversity into something beautiful. From the courtroom to the concert hall, Andrea's music has touched the hearts of people around the world, making him not just a singer, but a symbol of hope and perseverance. Air.